One of America's chief antagonists, tonight again reaching out to a top American enemy. Vladimir Putin's government is in contact with the Taliban in Afghanistan over the sharing of intelligence. That's according to a Russian Foreign Ministry spokeswoman who tells CNN Putin's doing this to help the Taliban fight their common enemy, ISIS. The official says the Kremlin won't be giving weapons to the Taliban. But why would Putin, who's been a chief enemy of the Taliban, want to help them now? U.S. commanders say ISIS has gained strength in Afghanistan in recent months, with up to 3,000 fighters there. Putin's long been worried about thousands of jihadists from Russia's Caucasus region and the former Soviet republics, who he says are inside Syria. And he may be trying to cut off that pipeline closer to home in Afghanistan.
The fact that there are people from the North Caucasus fighting in Syria, maybe not as many as the Russian government says, but certainly a good number, including in leadership roles, means that Russia does see ISIS and a lot of the other Islamist groups as a particular threat in a way that maybe the Taliban isn't. So the Russians may think that they are the lesser of the available evils.
But it's another risk for a Russian president who's been boldly extending his reach from his escalations in Syria to aggressive moves in Europe and North Korea. Recently, Putin's military advisors were in Pyongyang for a secretive meeting with Kim Jong-un's top generals. Putin's announced he'll construct a missile which could pierce the U.S.-led missile shield in Europe. Analysts say this is all about Vladimir Putin projecting his relevance and strength.
He wants to go back to the 1970s, when the Soviet Union and the United States were equals as geopolitical leaders, as Cold War rivals, but they still sat down and they did deals.
Experts say by working with the Taliban, Putin's likely not risking a repeat of the Soviets' grinding, bloody occupation of Afghanistan in the 80s. But there's concern about one possibility if he keeps ramping up his campaign in Syria.
If I was Vladimir Putin, which thankfully I'm not, I'd be very worried about footage coming from Syria of Russian pilots potentially being kidnapped or burnt, such as happened to a Jordanian pilot not that long ago.